Yes, I know you met.
I know. We met.
He was in South Africa. You were here.
You know the problem with some of the questions, we push him about journalists. You don't know that in some of those questions is a carried innuendo of a fight with friends. Like, why wasn't I invited? Why was he invited? Why did he go? The important thing is we met.
Yes.
Yeah, and the 6th Republican president was in a secluded place. He was in a place where if he didn't want to see you, you didn't see him.
Yes. Okay. So he wanted to see you.
He wanted to see me.
Yes. I'm interested to know if there's anything you can share from the conversation when you met.
It was about the unity in Tonse. It was about the future of the country. It was about his vision for the country. Obviously reminiscing the things we had been through, the things we had discussed, how we were going to move Tonse going forward, the members who are applying to join Tonse, some of the reservations, some of his own observations, and the advice he was giving as a father figure at the time. It was also about how we were going to, politics involves friends.
Yes.
Which friends we're going to go with and which friends we're going to work with.
Yes.
So those kind of discussions, general, some specific, some detailed, some superfluous, but those were the discussions.
Were you like the two of you, or there were other members involved in
Whenever I spoke to Balungu politics and whenever we had to discuss something in detail, one-on-one, two. Even when here, in Zambia, whenever he invited me to have a conversation with him, and he said, Ndefo Kulandanaiwe, it didn't matter who was around, he would throw everybody out. Danny Sio, Chanda Kabwe, Richard Musukwa, Chomba, the former PS, even his ADC Bachanda, he would tell everybody, Fumina and Pants in Ndefo Kulandanaiwe. So conversations with the late former president were personal, one-on-one. That's it.
Wonderful. I've come across a conversation where that suggests that you, KBF, you are the anointed one from ECL to take over the leadership of the Tonse Alliance. I'd like to find out if there's any truth to that, and also was that part of that conversation you had when you went to South Africa?
Our discussions were personal, and I think right now I'd rather respect the mourning period that we're in. Let's mourn. Let's also allow the family their privacy.
Yes.
We'll get to discuss the right time.
Okay. We'll talk about the anointing conversation later on, not now.
No, about it.
We'll talk about
it.
Or revealing who. Or are we at the stage where we can tell people? Are we at the stage where we can tell who the plan B is? People think
I thought I just answered you, and I told you. We'll get to that after the funeral.
After the funeral.
I mean, Zambia.
I hope most of my questions will not be pushed to after the funeral.
By Jackson. We are Africans.
Mkwa.
We are Zambians at that. Let's be very clear that we're in a mourning period.
Yes.
We don't want to be going hard into politics right now and stirring up for no reason. No.
Thank you.
Let's respect the former president's wishes.
Yes.
Let's respect the former president's family's privacy.
Yes.
The mourning period. All these political things, they'll come up. Don't come up.
So also one thing we've picked up is that the leaders of the alliance, especially the presidents, first, most of them would want to be the leaders of the alliance.
It's normal. It's very normal. The question to be a leader of Tonse, you want to lead the alliance? Do you have the capacity? Do you have the networks? Do you have financial muscle? Do you have the strategic thinking to beat Haga in the Ichilem? Have you got enough experience? Are you grounded? Are you the leader whose faith the Zambians can gravitate to? and believe the leader we want. It's not always the loudest noise who make the good leaders. No. For example, Balungu was very talkative, but he proved to be a good leader. There are people who are trying to take advantage, even in speaking the loudest, making a lot of postings about this funeral, think they were the closest to Balungu and things like that. No. Leadership is about character. And sometimes character is seen through principle. Stand for. The Zambians know who their leaders are. And speaking for myself, I think when I say something, especially don't rush. Sometimes we think we're talking when we're not talking. Sometimes we think we're crying, we're not crying. So, the time. Also, we'll have to call what we term as a council of leaders. We'll discuss. But right now, we can't be having too many meetings when we have a situation.
Yes,
and
yes.
that stake is a stalemate. This impasse between the government and the family of the late president. That solved. No remains of president will be put to rest. That's what's important right now. So we all seem to be pushing and shoving because of that impasse. But after that, we'll all come together and move.
All right. As you, I had a question, but then you've mentioned something else, but I'll come back to it as well.
Right.
When that time comes, president leaders come together to decide who may be the flag bearer for Tonse. Are you in a position to support someone else if you're not the one who's picked? You as KBF?
If I think that person can beat Aga in the HLM, yes. Not any Tom, Dick, and Harry, no. I've got to be very honest to the Zambians. I've got to be brutally honest. The person we are going to discuss and point to as a leader can, one, unify Tonse. He can beat Aga in the HLM, yes. Because that's the adversary. That's the mark we are looking at. That's the mark we must beat. But if you just come up and say, no, Jackson Piri, can you beat Aga in the HLM yourself? I'll say no. He's not qualified. And I'll give my reasons. If the others think we should take a vote, we vote, and I'm outvoted, so be it.
From where you stand, two or three members from Tonse who are more qualified to beat Aga in the HLM.
You want me to judge my friends now?
Yes, because of the guidelines you gave. You should have seen where we're coming from. The influence, you gave a lot of guidelines. You should have seen them by now.
You're not being fair.
You should have seen them by now.
No, but you're not being fair.
You should have seen them. If you should have, you should know your colleagues if they've got the caliber you talked about. If got the influence, if they have the financial mass, so you should have known by now. You know by now.
Let me put it to you this way. Let me put it to you this way. It is unfair to discuss they're not there to defend themselves. My colleagues, you can take your equipment, go and interview them. You judge. Let the Zambians be the judge, not me.
Mr. President, I didn't know names, and I just said from where you stand and the members that you have, what you have.
But you want me to discuss people. I don't think politically is correct. With due respect to Apiri. No.
I understand.
No. These are my colleagues. I sit with them on the Council of Leaders table. And I can't be disparaging them in public. We know each other. If that's the question you want. We all know each other. We know our abilities. We know our capabilities. We know financial standings. We know our background. We know each other. Let's leave it at that. When we're at the table, we all know each other. That's where we'll start from.
I know my friends, I know people that are able to stand. Or for now, or maybe that question is telling me we can't have that conversation right now because I know my friends.
No, that will be made by the Zambians, eventually, anyway. Great.
So, Mr. President, there have been allegations circulating that former President Edgar Lungu passed away due to allegedly denying him permit abroad for specialized medical treatment. As a political leader and someone with insight into national affairs. Do you believe that that his death was of this alleged delay? I would like to pick your mind on this situation.
And our former Republican, Edgar Chagolungu, was ill. I didn't know of his illness myself until quite late. Whispered to me. And I then realized, yes, he needed medical attention. But it is also in public that this UPND government has not been quite fair. It has not quite helpful, timely, helpful with regard to most political foes. In mind comes the late Edith Nawakwi. Yes, there could have been maneuvers, maybe at the 10th, 11th hour, bring Edith to the fore so that government could help. But everybody knows that on 2-3 occasions, Edith was stopped at the airport from flying out to India for a review by this government. You can't fly out without passing through immigration. You know that.
Yes.
And when the doctors who are attending to you for medical tell you, come back in 4 months, they mean 4 months, not 2 years later. Delays like that are costly. We were burying Edith in April. This is June. We have another death of another prominent, if not higher, leader in the name of Edgar Chagolungu as a president. I did vote Edith's funeral. I said we should not be hypocritical when we're offering help. I am not blaming the UPND government per se conduct, because illnesses come and nobody knows but God when we are going to go. We could have helped somehow prolong that life, and I'll have allowed Edith Nawakwi to get medication at an appointed time, allowed Walungu to go for his reviews much earlier. That's what the Zambian, the common man on the street is saying. Nga bali basuminisha kolimbi, we would not be in this state. That thought process, you can't take away that from a common man. And if you ask me that question, in a way, yes, the UPND is responsible.